But I don't know. I don't know if the Broncos need that. I don't know if Elway would even consider something like that. But it's an interesting idea. I like when reporters, when journalists, when sports bums do something interesting like this. So good job, sir. Good job with your article putting that out there. After the break, we'll come back and we will review last weekend's games before we preview next weekend's games.
Hey guys, the NFL is back. It's time to win some cash playing fantasy football. TheDirtCannon.com is a local company that has your back. They have produced over 60% winners on FanDuel, DraftKings, and now even Yahoo. TheDirtCannon.com will help you build, play, and win. Build a better team with TheDirtCannon.com. Use promo code RDST and get $5 off forever. And try the Silver membership this week for free. Visit TheDirtCannon.com.
Definitely check out the DirtCannon.com. Excuse me. You know, normally every Wednesday night we have Jeremy Cunningham on to do Cunningham's picks from the DirtCannon.com. Tonight he couldn't be with us. We won't do that segment tonight. He's out there helping the youth of America and doing big things. So we'll get back with him next week. But definitely check out the DirtCannon.com. They're doing big things. They're a local company here in the Colorado area, and they'll help you win your fantasy league. It's amazing what they're doing over there. You really got to check it out. They're putting out some good articles. They're sharing some good news, and they're helping you set your fantasy lineup. So check it out. They're covering Yahoo. They're covering DraftKings. They're covering FanDuel. They'll help you set your season long. I mean, it's good stuff. Check it out for sure. They're the official fantasy partner of our show, The Real Deal Sports Talk with KP. All right, last weekend in football. Shall we get to it? Do you guys want to do some football talk? All right, we'll do some football talk. All right, football talk. Scores from last weekend. Broncos fall for a second time in the week to the Chargers, 21-13. And, hey, the Broncos just didn't have what it took that night. They went down big, and we've talked about it on this show. They don't have what it takes right now to get into a shootout. They're going to have to get their offensive line to get some blocking game going. They can't continue to hand the ball off with the offensive line 2 yards deep in the backfield. There's nowhere for them to go. Denver's got some stuff to work on. Their linebackers are being exposed. It's amazing what's happening as this team struggles right now. And, you know, last year they did lose 2 games in a row twice. So who's to say? They got Houston on Monday night. We'll see. They lose to the Chargers 21-13 in their first divisional game of the season. The Bills blow out the 49ers 45-16. Kaepernick had one big highlight as he started that game, but this was all Bills all day as they just roll, and everybody got in a little bit on that action. The Redskins are showing themselves to be a competitor there in the NFC East as they are trying to stay pat with the Cowboys as they beat the Eagles 27-20. Carson Wentz is looking a little bit more like a rookie now as there's tape on him and defenses are starting to learn how to expose him a little bit. Titans win a close one with the Browns in the Battle of Blah as they win 28-26 over Cleveland. The Giants come back and beat Baltimore 27-23 behind the 2 big, long touchdowns from Odell Beckham as he puts up a little over 200 yards receiving in that one and continues his antics with the field goal kicking net. The Saints beat the Panthers as they drop another game and they fall 41-38 to New Orleans. Drew Brees puts up another 400-yard game, sets a record there. He joins the club of only about five or six other guys that have thrown for 50,000 yards with one team, and he's continuing to roll. You give him a few weapons and he'll make things happen. Brandon Cooks had another 85-plus yard touchdown. And look, we talked about it just a second ago. The Panthers are just making mistakes this year. They're not a different team. It's not because one guy's gone. Last year was almost the perfect season for them. Had they been able to cap it off, you couldn't ask anything more from your team than the way they were able to play and get better throughout the season. This year, it's like we said, it's not clicking. The Bears and Jags were able to pull this one out 17-16 late. Looks like Brian Hoyer very well could keep that job there in Chicago, as he has another pretty good game. The Lions, they took on the Rams last week, and we won that one with a nice game-winning field goal near the end there, and then held them off and picked off another pass to seal that win at home, Ford Field, as we beat the Rams 31-28. Went up big. Let the Rams come back. Or, no, we went up, come back. It was a good game. We got to see more out of the run game. We got to, get healthy. We'll talk about Stafford here in a minute, but he balled out. He's been balling out. Highest completion percentage he's had in his career. 16. I'm not even going to go with the stats. You guys want to see the stats? I'm going to go see the stats. I'm going to talk from the fan side. He's been without play. Now, we'll talk about him in a minute. Lions win 31-28. Let's get to the rest of these scores. Dolphins. What was up with that game, huh? Big Ben gets hurt, messes up his meniscus, goes in and has surgery this week. Successful. Now you got a timetable of 2 to 6 weeks. And the Dolphins just beat up the Steelers 30-15 down in South Florida. You got Steelers players throwing up on the field, Big Ben getting hurt. Steelers got knocked down a little bit, just like the Broncos have been. Very interesting. Patriots win again. They're a well-oiled machine there. I keep telling you guys, if you're going to beat the Patriots, you better come to play. You better bring it for 60 minutes, because this was a game for about 30 of those minutes. And really, it was a little bit closer than the score would indicate, as the Patriots win this one 35-17. Fontes Burfict, I don't know what he's thinking. He's got to know that he's on camera, that he's being watched, taking people out at the knees, standing on people's legs. Tom Brady goes for over 300 yards again. Bennett has another big game. So keep it rolling. There you go. You got the boy on the FU tour, and he's just doing his thing. There goes Uggs. The Chiefs go into Oakland in a rainy game and expose the Raiders, beating them 26-10. Ouch. That one hurt for Raiders fans. You got to talk your mess for all of about 4 days before you got punched in the face. And sure, you're still tied for first, and technically with the tiebreaker, because you have more division wins, we'll give you first place right now. But record-wise, you're tied, and you got punched in the face this week by the Chiefs at home. That one's got to hurt. Falcons go up to Seattle and lose in a close one, 26-24. We'll talk about the end of that game here in a minute also. Cowboys go into Green Bay. Dak Prescott becomes only the second rookie to win on the road there in Green Bay, as the Cowboys win 30-16. Ezekiel Elliott runs all over the Packers' number one rated defense, rush defense. And the rookies, they're getting it done. Maybe potential MVP candidates right there, huh? And then finally, we had on Sunday night, to wrap up the Sunday games, the Texans beat the Colts 26-23. It was 23-9 late in the game. The Texans miraculously come back. Brock Osweiler all of a sudden had a little bit of confidence. Made a couple throws. The Colts made some bad defensive plays, and they allowed them to come back and ultimately win the game 26-23. Monday night was the David Johnson show. He went off. If you guys had him on your fantasy team, he went off for over 30 points again, as the Cardinals beat the Jets badly, 28-3. Fitzpatrick gets pulled for Geno Smith. Just not a good look for the Jets right now at all, especially with word now that Eric Decker is going to have hip and shoulder surgery and potentially be out for part of next season as well. After the commercial, what are the Bulls doing? Can somebody tell me how many guards the Bulls are going to need, please?
Hey guys, the NFL is back. It's time to win some cash playing fantasy football. TheDirtCannon.com is a local company that has your back. They have produced over 60% winners on FanDuel, DraftKings, and now even Yahoo. TheDirtCannon.com will help you build, play, and win. Build a better team with TheDirtCannon.com. Use promo code RDST and get $5 off forever, and try the Silver membership this week for free. Visit TheDirtCannon.com.
All right, the Chicago Bulls. Everybody knows who they are. Everybody watches them. Everybody knows the Michael Jordan. Yada, yada, yada. What are they doing? How many guards does one team need? They now have, and this week, traded for Michael Carter-Williams from Milwaukee. They signed Dwayne Wade in free agency. They have Butler, who was already on the team. They brought over Rondo. They drafted Denzel Valentine from Michigan State. That's 5 guards you're going to have on your roster. Not to mention the other 4 or 5 on the roster I didn't mention because they're not big names. How many guards do you need? Are they trying to create a small ball lineup that can compete with Golden State? Are they becoming a copycat league in the NBA, and now we're going to have these teams try and put a bunch of guards together on the floor? Call them forwards, call them small forwards. I don't know. I tend to agree with Charles Barkley a little bit on this one, and you're not going to win a championship just doing jump shots. We'll have to see. I don't know, Chicago. I don't know if that's good, bad, or what. I'll tell you what is good. What's good is Jarius Robertson. If you guys don't know who Jarius Robertson is, go check out his name. Check out our Facebook page. He is a young New Orleans Saints fan. He's 14 years old. He's had a hard life. He has a liver disease that limits his growth. Okay, it's biliary atresia. I believe that's how you say it. And it affects his liver. He had a liver transplant already in his life. He needs another liver transplant. He's had over 13 surgeries. He was in a coma for a year. But this dude is impressive, man. He is the New Orleans Saints hype man. Okay? And there's video of dude out there, and the Carolina Panthers are playing in the Superdome, and one of the receivers dancing, and he goes right up to him. He says, "Nah, man, that's mine. You go dance over there. That's my end zone. You want to dance, go back to your sideline. That's mine." And he protects the house. That's his love. That's the Saints. You better watch it. So this week, the Saints, Sean Payton, they signed him to a contract. He is now part of their media team, basically. They're going to take him and his father on the road this weekend to Kansas City. And he's going to be part of the team. He's going to do his thing. Maybe do some sideline reporting, Get it in. Go ahead, Jarius. Live big in your world. We should all live as big as Jarius is living. All right. Ain't nothing bad about what Jarius is doing, but what is bad is Bill Belichick and his new hatred for tablets. We saw the video of him getting mad and smashing it down after the play. He has decided he's going back to paper. And the NFL, Microsoft paid the NFL almost $250 million, or $500 million almost, to be the official sideline tablet of the NFL. And now, there you go. You got the Patriots bucking the trends again. Don't want to use the tablets. He's old school. Go back to the paper. It's not going to cost me $1,500 if I throw the notebook against the ground. Bad luck. It's technology. Move with it. So you made a mistake and broke an expensive device. The sponsorship pays for it. Move on. So as bad as that was, something was real ugly this weekend. We talked about it. The Atlanta Falcons went up to Seattle. Seattle pulled out a 2-point win. They drove down and got that score late.